Hey, you listen to Eyes on Smash Bros. Radio. What's happening? It's Friday, and you know what time it is. It's time to get freaky and naked. Of course, why not? Hey, you listen to Smash Bros. Radio. This is Oz. If you have not done so, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. You can find Smash Bros. On Instagram. You can find us on Facebook as well as YouTube. And hey, I'm Oz, your Dutch uncle. You can find me on practically every type of platform out there. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, you can find me. So check me out sometimes. You may like it. Hey, we got a lot going on today. Got a lot going on today. See if I can get my stuff back straight. There I am. Thank you, Jesus. Hello, hello. Hey, we got a lot going on. Got a lot going on. We have here in Alabama, we have the Natalee Holloway situation that is occurring. Vander Smut, or whatever the man's name is, has been extradited back to Alabama to face charges on extortion. Then you have the situation with Dr. Cornel West. And then you have the Supreme Court with their decision on the redistricting, the redrawing of the lines when it comes to our congressional district. And now we have finally the orange tangerine idiot Trump has been indicted on espionage charges. So we have a lot going on today. So it's going to be interesting to find out exactly how everything transpires and all. So did my 3 mile walk. It's come along pretty well. Last time I weighed in, I went from 206 to 198. Everything seems to be all right. I cannot stress the importance of gaining control of your body, of your health, maintaining. And it doesn't take any effort when it comes to changing your lifestyle. And when I say changing your lifestyle, you can't get any more Southern, any more Alabamian than myself. I am I think the last time I added it up, I think I'm I'm the 7th generation of Alabamian. So you can't get any more Alabamian and Southern than myself. I have authentic grandparents as well as aunts and uncles that were raised on farms. So I was raised on country cooking, or depending on which area you come from, you call it soul food. Country cooking and soul food are practically the same thing. Vegetables, chitlins, you name it, I ate it. Now we weren't. My folks weren't so poor that they had to depend on possum and all that. Now, from what they say, they did eat them, but thank you, Lord, I never had to eat that shit. So, but I did learn early in life that when my grandmother went to the freezer, if she got that butcher paper out, I knew it was some strange meat. But if she got the meat that was wrapped up in that, that cellophane or whatever, I know I was safe. So I would have to make sure that she didn't sneak anything on me, because she snuck deer on me. And I liked it. So I can eat deer, but I'm not about to eat no possum. I'm not going to eat no squirrel. I'm not going to eat no rack. I am not going to do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Can't do it. Now, I like jerk goat. I like that. And that, as long as the Jamaicans cook it, I can eat it. And I have eaten goat, and I liked it. I like the Jamaican way of cooking goat. So I have eaten goat, but the rest of the stuff I'm not even going to deal with. So I think this is going on my 2nd month of walking 3 miles. And those of you who have listened before know that I have myasthenia gravis, which is a form of muscular dystrophy. And so it's better for me to do things, to have my activities early in the mornings and not in the afternoons, because the afternoons kind of wear me out. And so I walk. It takes me about an hour to walk 3 miles. Uh, I've gotten in the habit of getting up. I've learned that when I have to come to the studio, I know that I have to be out by 6, and then I'm back in by 7. And well, just like we're here, I got here around 8:30, so I'm getting more after 3 years. After 3 years on the radio, I think I should be a little bit more less anxious. So I got here around 8:30 today, and was able to get everything up and running. So uh, I cannot stress the importance of getting control of your health, getting control of making yourself better. It can be done. Now it's going to take a lot of will on some line. It's going to take a lot of will, but if I can do it, anyone can do it. Now, after walking, uh, sometimes I am in a little major pain, but that's to be expected with the myasthenia. I'm a little fatigued, which is also well expected when it comes to myasthenia. I have no other choice. Uh, I am not going to be put on no diabetic medicine. When you read the back of the what is it? What do you call it? Side effects of the medicine, you find out that sometimes the side effects of the medicine are worse than the actual uh, cause of the actual problem that you have. So I'm learning more when it comes to the natural stuff. I know that they have beer root, hydrangea root, uh, sour soap. So there are herbs out there, teas that you can drink that can help you to maintain your diabetes, as well as your high blood pressure. It doesn't you don't. I've started cooking with chicken broth, or I get those bouillon cubes, which again you have to be cautious because of the salt that's in there. I do cook with. Sometimes I do have a turkey. What is it? Wings or legs. Now I do. I have to admit to you that I do. I do miss my ham hocks and my neck bone. I have to admit to that. And sometimes the cravings are too deep. But the thing is, you can still eat moderately the way that you can still cook moderately as long as you're exercising. See, we are not as active as we were when we were younger. The kids these days, this generation these days, don't even know about going outside and just playing. I mean, after we got finished with breakfast, it was shoot. We stayed outside from 8 to 12. Then we came in, if we did come in, to eat, which was mostly sandwiches on paper plates, and then went back outside. So we didn't have any other choice but to be active. So, uh, especially in the black community, it is extremely important that uh, way that things were done or modified or corrected or whatever word you wish to use, but it can be done. Uh, Anything that I can control, I'm going to control. I can control whether or not I become a diabetic. I can control whether or not my high blood pressure uh, increases. Now, the only reason why, from what I understand, the doctor's telling me, the only reason that I am on high blood pressure medicine is because it's hereditary. My paternal granddaddy died from hypertension. My dad had quad bypass surgery and eventually died because of hypertension. So it's hereditary. So they put me on the lowest dosage that's out there, and it's just for maintenance. And then from what they have said back then, the research shows that if you are on the smallest dosage, that the medicine itself protects your heart. So that's the only reason, because I had asked, would once I get everything under control, would I be taken off? And I was hurt. They told me that nope, you'll be on it forever. And I was like, damn. But that's that's to protect my heart. So and then with the medicine mestinon that I'm taking for my myasthenia gravis, that has a strong impact on my kidneys and liver. And so I'm not taking anything that's going to add to stressing out the liver and the kidneys. So I have to be on the mestinon because I myasthenia. But when it comes to diabetes, I can control that. So as I told you previously, I think a month ago, that when the lab results came back, and because of me, and that I was walking, that was my third week of walking, and the lab results came back that the kidneys were functional. Well, no, the kidneys were stable, the liver was good, cholesterol was good, which was the first time ever. The F10C or whatever it's called, I went from was it 507 to 503, I think it was. But anyway, I went above, so I'm no longer on the borderline of pre-diabetic. So, but she still wants me to take the medicine because we don't know, we don't have a record of whether or not. So there's still a question, and there's still a possibility that if I don't do what I'm supposed to, I can still become a diabetic. That's not even happening. So, for my experience with having what I have, if I can make those changes, there isn't any reason why you can't make the change. And I'm not asking you or saying that you can do 3 miles, because it took me a time. But you can walk comfortably in your yard or on a short distance to build up your stamina, and then you can walk further. But it doesn't take any time, but it takes tenacity and takes motivation. And if you know that you can control it and you don't, well, then I think that you're very selfish, because there's a possibility that those individuals that care and love you, well, you're putting them under a lot of stress because of you not taking care of yourself. And there's a time from being stubborn to being stupid. So my standpoint, my opinion, from my viewpoint, if you can control it, I think that you should take control of it and do what you need to do to make sure that you have the best life that you can possibly have. At 63 years old, I am not about to get sick to where I won't be able to enjoy my retirement. I'm not going to do it. Not even That's not even in the equation. I'm going to maintain and do what I can to stay as healthy and as active as I can. So please, 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 please take care of yourself. Please. Um, because of Peruvian government changing, the Peruvian government has given United States permission to extradite Vandersmoot, who was the alleged killer of Natalee Holloway. Now, WBRC had the audacity to take about 2 goddamn hours. I didn't see the purpose, to tell you the truth, showing this damn plane coming in and you rehashing about the history and all that. I don't understand that. I think that they WBRC just stayed on there just to listen to their own voices and all, because I think it was a waste of time and it was boring as hell. Yes, he's here. Okay, well, how come you couldn't just broadcast it during the regular broadcast? But no, you had to interrupt regular programming to showcase that bullshit. Now, when I say that, I mean no disrespect. I cannot even imagine what Mrs. Holloway went through when her daughter, when she heard that her daughter was missing. People failed to understand or to remember that when it first occurred, I think it was 18 years ago. First of all, people were questioning, well, why were they in Aruba? One was the seniors in Aruba. Uh, I guess it must be a white thing that during that time that senior class would have a trip, a senior class trip. So they took their asses down to Aruba, and so they went out to the clubs, uh, and then Natalee left with Vandersmoot, and we were questioning, well, what about the chaperones? Where were the chaperones? And why, first of all, we didn't understand why they were down in Aruba anyway, but I guess it must have been a white thing. And so that they questioned that. They questioned, well, where was the chaperones? Why would the chaperones allow her to leave with a stranger? Why would her friends allow her to leave with a stranger? And then, teenagers are going to be teenagers, so we knew exactly. We can speculate why she left. The Vandersmoot was a very attractive young man. So when Natalee came up missing, and he became the suspect, and I think he was arrested. I think that he was extradited to Alabama, and then I think that his mother took him. No, he wasn't. But anyway, I think that his mother took him out of state, out of the country, to protect him. So eventually he did come back, and then Vandersmoot got in touch with Miss Holloway and saying that if you would pay me a certain amount of money, I would show you where the body was. And of course, Mrs. Holloway, I think, gave him the money. So this is where the extortion charges come up. So now he left and then went down to Peru, committed a murder in Peru. He was finally convicted down in Peru, and he's been serving time down there up until now. It's still, the Peruvian government still controls the outcome, because even if he is convicted of the charges here in Alabama, he will still have to go back to Peru to serve his time out. And then, too, the Peruvian government can anytime just say that, well, we want him back. And from what I understand, Alabama would have to allow him to go back. So I can understand the situation. I can. But to rehash all that, I just think is stupid. I really do. And some people were saying that, well, she should have never left the crowd, and she should. Teenagers are teenagers, and they're going to do whatever teenagers do. And so now, from what I understand, there are black high schools now that have senior trips, and their seniors go to different countries, out of state, out of country. So, it is what it is. I know that when I graduated, we didn't even think about traveling outside. So, there's so much that has changed since I was in school. Now you have kindergartners having proms. You have middle school people having proms, which I think is ludicrous. I don't think that they're too damn young to understand the purpose of a prom. And plus, that was something that we look forward to in our junior and senior year. And then we complain about the kids being too grown. Well, hell, you're making them too grown. I don't think that middle school, elementary school folks should have proms. I don't understand the purpose of it. Also, I don't understand these beauty pageants to where you have these young babies that have all this makeup on, making them look much older with these wigs. I mean, you talking about the kids being acting too grown. Well, shit, you're the responsible party, because you're putting them in a grown folk situation. So, that's my opinion. I just think that some things are just ludicrous. Having a elementary prom where the kids dress up, ludicrous, stupid. And then middle school, you doing the same thing, ludicrous, stupid. You have nothing to look forward to. And then for these parents to get all, I don't understand. I think that the what you call it, they're can't even think of the word. They're fucked up, just messed up. And then watching seeing some of the dresses that some of these girls were wearing, they look like a bunch of whores on the corner. All these feathers and all this skin showing. I don't see the purpose of it. And then showing, flashing these guns and these rifles and this money. I don't. It's just fucked up. It's just fucked up. What is the purpose of showing all this money in your hands? What is the purpose of having these guns? I think you're stupid. I just think that it's stupid. And then you have these gowns that are just, oh, oh. They look like a bunch. They look like costumes that a burlesque uh, uh, dancer would have. So I don't understand it. But of course, I'm 63 years old, and it really doesn't matter if I make folks mad. I really don't care because that's why I'm a Dutch uncle. Get over it. But we have that coming up here in Alabama. He has been this morning. He was taken to the court, so it's going to be interesting to see what the outcome of that would be. And then the Supreme Court finally has decided that Alabama, the legislators were the congressional districts were drawn unconstitutionally, that it violated the Section 2 of the Civil Rights Amendment. So now the legislators are going to have to go back and to redraw the congressional districts, which means there's a possibility that because of there being a 27% population of blacks, that we might have another Democratic congressional district. But see, that's where the backstabbing comes into play. Before Earl Hilliard was congressman, allegedly, Joe Reed met with the Republican Party and hashed out a compromise that if you would give us one black congressional district, then we will support everything that the Republicans wanted. And that's where Earl Hilliard was allowed to get elected, and that's where I think the 7th Congressional District comes into play. So that started with the black politician who had back then had a lot of power, because I think he was over the Black Democratic Party and also the Black Education Association. So Joe Reed wielded a lot of power. And so that's how we got the 7th Congressional District. So there was a lot of underhandedness when we got it. And then we had Earl Hilliard, and we know what happened with that. So now the Supreme Court has finally ruled that we knew that it was gerrymandering. We knew that the white folks down in Montgomery was making it hard for blacks to have a say. I mean, they're being typical white as well as being typical Republicans. That's why I think that the Democrats should grow some balls, grow a spine, and be more radical when it comes to dealing with the Republican Party. Now, keep in mind that both parties are twins. One is not any better than the other, but who is the lesser of the two evils? So, because when the Democrats get into power, shit never happens. And then you have to compromise, in which the Republicans don't compromise, but it's always the Democrats who always compromise. So, in my viewpoint, the Democrats for a long time have been nothing but bitches to the Republican Party. And I think that it's time for the Democrats to stand up to their pimp and let them know that we're not taking this shit no more, and we're not going to compromise. This is the way that it's going to be. You do it, you do it. You don't, you don't. I think that, but it was a tight vote between 5 and 4, and so now little Uncle Remus, Clarence Thomas, is he mad? You mad, Tommy? And so Clarence Thomas is mad with his little punk ass, and so he's writing dissenting remarks. So we'll see how this goes. It hasn't happened yet, but we will see what they come up with. So you have the Holloway, and then you have the redistricting of Alabama. And so it's going to be interesting to find out exactly what the outcome of everything is going to be. And then, now understand, I have an abundance of respect and admiration for Dr. Cornel West. Uh, he's a professor. He's a activist. He's an author. He's an activist. Uh, you can't get the man is an intellectual. He is so sagacious. So uh, he claims that he's going to put his candidacy in for president, which is kind of disheartening uh, because all that's going to do is split the vote. I don't think at this time, uh, really, I don't think that Dr. Cornel West should run for period. He's an intellectual. I think that he has become disillusioned, especially after President Obama was elected. I don't think that Dr. West feels that Obama did enough for the black community. Travis Smiley has, during that time, came out against President Obama and claimed that he did not do enough for the black community. Uh, I don't know. I don't know, and I would like for people to explain to me uh, what does that actually mean. Uh, in some cases, I don't think that President Obama did enough for the black community. At the same time, the Republican Party ruled the Senate, and that little turtle McConnell was saying that he wasn't going to allow anything to go through if Obama did it. So I think that was treachery. So I would like to have a discussion. I would like to hear because I wouldn't be able to participate, but I would like to hear what some opinions are. Did President Obama do enough? Did he not do enough? Why? Why not? What are your opinions uh, that he didn't do enough? Uh, was Could he have done enough, or could he have done more, even with the Republican Party? So, was it that he didn't do enough, or was it that the Republican Party would not allow him to do enough? So, I would just like to have, I would just like to listen to what people's opinions are. Uh, I'm trying to find the video with Dr. Cornel West and Travis Smiley to find out exactly what their beef with President Obama is all about. So I would like to know that, and then people that are on YouTube as well as TikTok, I like to hear what their opinions are when it comes. But I think the general consensus is that this is not the time for Professor West to throw his hat into the ring because all that is going to do is split the vote. 2024 is a very important election year, and the Democrats have to have all the ducks in a row. They have to have the I's dotted and the T's crossed. Uh, we cannot go through another year dealing with the MAGNA Republicans. We cannot. The nation cannot go through the stupidity. Uh, I don't. I don't really. I think that we're really in a fucked up position because I don't think that Biden is the answer, and I don't know. It's really frightening because when you look at the bigger picture, we're really in a fucked up position because Biden just don't have it. I'm really skeptical about Biden getting it, but I cannot see a Republican president coming in, especially Trump, and then hopefully if with him being indicted because of espionage charges, hopefully he will not be allowed to run for any type of public office again. Hopefully, and then for the Republicans to come out in his support, saying it's a travesty. He put his ass in that position. He put himself in that position. First of all, he wouldn't keep his mouth shut. So, he put himself in that position. And anybody with common sense, I knew, and I'm not that well educated, I knew that when his ass got elected, that we were fucked because he was going to give out the secrets to Russia and also to Korea and also to the Middle East. I knew that. I don't know how I knew that, but I knew that. I knew that the son of a bitch wasn't to be trusted. His entire family, other than his niece, other than his brother's family, you can't trust them. And now they're coming out that the Jew that married the daughter was given billions of dollars, and there's speculation that he sold secrets. So, we are really in some trying times, and how we handle these times are going to dictate how, as a nation, we move forward. Now, it's not an option for me to move. I'm not going nowhere. My ass is right here in Alabama. I love my state. I don't like some of the people in my state. When you've had the chance and you've been blessed that you have been able to travel a little bit, you will understand that Alabama is fucked up, yes, but Alabama is not as bad as what those other states are. Now, when you look at Governor Ivy, now she's fucked up, but she's not as fucked up as the other female governors or those other Republican governors. Because with her being a Republican, we could be in the same situation as what Texas, Mississippi, Florida, Kentucky, and Tennessee, Arizona. What is that? Is that North Dakota? We could be in those type of predicaments. Now, I think that is a travesty that the Republican Party will not allow Medicaid to be extended. I think that's a travesty. So we do have a lot of stuff to work on here in Alabama. I will admit that. I love my state. So when you look at us in a bigger picture, we're better off than a lot of states. And again, if you look at Alabama as by a single, Alabama is better than all the other 49 states because we can become self-sufficient. We have all the necessities here in Alabama to be self-sufficient. There's no reason for Alabama to be in the predicament, especially financially, that it's in. There are several projects, as I've mentioned several times before, that can put Alabama on the map. You can have the port of Birmingham that will bring money in that will suffice and bring in revenue for the entire state. You have the monorail system that will bring in money for the counties as well as the state. You have the Olympic pool out there at Sportsplex, 5 Points West, that can be renovated so that way it can become a hub for Olympic swimmers and coaches coming, different countries coming. So there is enough of money or enough of revenue in that pie that everybody can be happy. All the counties can have enough of money in their revenue to maintain their cities, to maintain their counties. So yes, Alabama is fucked up, but we're not as fucked up as what other states are. Ivy she could be worse than what she is now. She could be like the other Republican governors. So, it is what it is. So you have the Holloway situation, you have the redistricting, and it's going to see how long it takes for the legislators to come together to redraw the districts. It's going to be interesting to see exactly what district is going to be absorbed. So, uh, thank God we don't have Mo Brooks anymore. Now, if we can get rid of some of the others that's there, we're going to be all right. But it's going to be really interesting to find out uh, how the state is going to be redrawn. And I thought that at the last census that we were supposed to lose a congressional district anyway. So instead of having 7, we were to have 6. So I am really looking forward to seeing what congressional districts are going to be shortened, absorbed by other districts, and where this new uh, and we were speculating there's going to be a Democratic uh, district because we really don't know. We're in hopes that it would be, so that way we have 5 Republicans and 2 uh, Democrats. So it's going to be really interesting. Uh, I'm looking forward to this, to finding out exactly what these white folks in Montgomery have in mind. And then too, you have to be cautious too when it comes to the black legislators because there's several down there. I think are having sex with some of the white folks, or they're let's just say there's some hanky pankying going on between some of them folks. Uh, it's it's going to be interesting. And also compounded that, then you have Birmingham Southern, who is still financially strapped, but then you have that old man from Vestavia, I think, over the mountain, Jimbo Wagner, who should have died and gone to hell a long time ago, that's come up with a bill saying that, well, this is supposed to be for any college or university having financial problems. Alabama has too many colleges as it is. For the population that Alabama has, it has too many colleges, too many universities. So it would not hurt us at all for some of those colleges to go belly up anyway. We have too many colleges. There are too many colleges in Alabama for the population that Alabama has. So it's not going to hurt for Birmingham Southern to go away. There's going to be another school to take its place. And then plus 2, then white folks could maintain their school because the board of trustees allowed the president to go into the endowment funds and spend that money frivolously. Well, then that's on y'all. And I think that the president and the trustees should be held accountable for their foolishness, for their negligence. But see, it shouldn't be surprised. White folks are going to help white folks fuck the black folks. And that, and that's across the board. And some in the black community have no problem with that because you're in hoots with the white folks. Birmingham is a prime example because there are certain families that are politically empowered because the white folks, the white establishment allowed them to be that. And it shouldn't surprise y'all. It shouldn't be surprised. So, and plus 2, Birmingham is still being told what to do by the white folks over the mountain because of the legislature, which goes back to when the Constitution of Alabama should be ratified, should be rewritten, because there's some things in there that should be taken out. So there's a lot. Yes, Alabama's fucked up, but we're not as messed up as what other states are. Now, I love my state. I love my state. I love Birmingham. I would do anything for my state and for my city. So, and which comes to mind too, we're just hearing that the vendors from the World Games, I think there are 12 that are left that are remaining, but the majority of the vendors are being paid for their services during the World Games. And it was a learning experience because this was a huge event. But the question comes up that I would like to ask the mayor and also that name brand counselor, Crystal Smitherman, what happened to the materials that was stolen and what happened to the money? Has the money been accounted for, and has the materials been accounted for? Because see, nobody talks about that. Because see, from what was stated, materials was stolen. So where are the materials that was stolen, allegedly stolen? Have they been accounted for? And the money that was allocated for those homeless shelters, has that been what's the word, accounted for? So Christy, name brand, Ray, Randy, Randall, has there been any type of results? Has anybody looked into the materials and the money? Because there was a lot of money that was passed around. And also comes to mind, why in the hell was Hoover even involved with the World Games? Did we have any type of practice fields or baseball fields here in Alabama? Hoover should never have anything to do with Birmingham. Or Birmingham should never have anything to do with Hoover. But see, again, that's that white folk shit. That's that camaraderie. Because Hoover, and then the money that was generated from Hoover, where's that money? Or was there any separation? Was there separate money? Did Birmingham get any of that money? Did Jefferson County get any of that money from the Hoover when they had the baseball games over at Hoover, at the Met? So, there are a lot of unanswered questions that people don't want to seem to deal with. But that's okay. I'm here to ask those questions and to remind you that there's some messed up shit going on and y'all should be held accountable. But again, the World Games was a success in its own right, with it being its first time to have such an event. The next time a huge event comes, is going to be better prepared, better handled. And so it was a learning experience. So applause and bravo, standing ovation, because it was a learning experience. I don't think that it was meant for the vendors not to be paid, but there was a lot of stuff that should have, woulda, coulda. But I think that when it comes down to the materials and the money that was allocated for the homeless shelters, I think that money should be accounted for. Because, see, it's been hush-hush. Nobody talks about it. So it's going to be interesting. So, well, that's it. I appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Have a fantastic weekend. Know your value. Know your worth. Know that you are the one that controls everything about you. And most importantly, know that I love you more than love my. I'll see y'all Monday. Y'all take care. The live stream on the show. On the show. The live stream. On the show. The live stream. The live stream on the